Well, joining me tonight on this in studio with me is Mr. Zafar Saifullah, former Cabinet Secretary to the Government of India. I'm also joined by Nirmala Sitharaman of the BJP, Renuka Chaudhary of the Congress, Vijay Bahadur Singh, MP from the BSP, Surjit Bhalla, Economic Analyst, Anil P. Chavare is Additional Commissioner of the Income Tax and also the President of the Income Tax SC/ST Employees Welfare Federation, and M. Nagaraj, the man whose challenge to the constitutional amendments were bunched together, and it actually became the case of M. Nagaraj versus the Union of India, and the landmark Supreme Court judgment on that allowed caste to be a criterion for promotion, but with some important safeguards. Now let's just look at what will happen to those safeguards with this constitutional amendment which the government has cleared today and what is likely to be tabled in the Rajya Sabha today. Now, according to this constitutional amendment, anything in the constitution, regardless of that, notwithstanding that, SC/ST shall be deemed backward. Also, nothing shall prevent the state from providing quota in promotions with consequential seniority. It does away with the three preconditions that the Supreme Court had set in its earlier order. The Supreme Court had said that states must prove that a community they wanted reservations for was backward. They must prove that there was inadequate representation of the communities in the services, and also that it could not violate administrative efficiency. That was Article 355 of the Constitution. Now, with this new constitutional amendment, all these safeguards will not be there anymore, and that, of course, is to be tabled in Parliament tomorrow. Let me go across to my guest, and let me go across to M. Nagaraj first. As I said, the man who had actually gone to the Supreme Court against the earlier constitutional amendments by the government. Mr. Nagaraj, you must be disappointed with the news of a fresh constitutional amendment. Do you think, will you challenge this in court again, or do you think this can be challenged in court, given that it overrules what the Supreme Court had actually wanted as safeguards?
Yeah, it has become necessary for the general category people to approach the court again. The very Supreme Court has said, if the government go against the provisions in the Constitution, then every one individual has got right to approach the court to get justice, because the very provision in Article 16(4)(a) already provides reservation in promotion. The Supreme Court never said don't give reservation in promotion with consequential seniority. Only thing is, they said if there is already adequate representation is there, if that caste is already forward, then there is no necessity to continue the reservation in promotion. Under that circumstances, where is the necessity of saying that there is no reservation in promotion? The Supreme Court has struck down the reservation in promotion. It's all false, and unfortunately the political leaders are taking in a wrong direction, and to please some of their voters, they are telling that reservation in promotion has been removed. But unfortunately, the Supreme Court has not clearly stated what is to be done in the next course, in the next days to come. Right. Because when the Supreme Court,
I think the point you're making, I think the point you're making is echoed as well by the Attorney General, who had warned the government that they need to be on very sound ground to actually overrule these three safeguards. And let me just bring in from the Congress, Renuka Chaudhary on that. Renuka Chaudhary, two main questions. The Supreme Court's judgment seemed perfectly reasonable, that before giving reservation, you would at least ensure that it wouldn't affect administrative efficiency, that the community is actually backward. The government has now actually completely disregarded this. Why was that needed? Do you think logically it makes sense? And the haste with which this bill has been brought, we haven't seen a similar haste for other crucial bills that have been pending for years. Politically motivated?
You know, Sonia, the only thing we regret about bringing this bill is this time, because it's going to be viewed with a jaundiced eye. But the fact of the matter is, we have had this historical mistake which has been happening over the years, and despite what we believe that there is that much reservation protection, let's face it, where are the statistics? Where have you had people who've actually benefited from a promotion? Do you actually see a particular community sitting at the top of the rung of all the jobs? We don't. So now anything that the government does, unfortunately, because of the current circumstances, can be viewed as suspect, but that's unfair.
Let me go to the content. I'll just go, Renuka Chaudhary, into the content of what you said, those statistics, because those do back you up. But let me just get the political motives first. And Nirmala Sitharaman, political analysts would say that in a way the UPA government has put you in a spot. The BJP can't afford to be seen as opposing reservation for SC/ST. Similar situation happened when the Mandal Commission first began, that most parties fall in line given the sheer numerical presence of SC/STs in the country. So with elections up, the BJP can't show you're against it. Yet Parliament is not functioning. You had Mayawati meet Sushma Swaraj and Arun Jaitley saying, please let this bill be passed. If it's not done, we'll see, the country will know who opposes it. What is the BJP going to do?
Well, we'll wait till tomorrow when it is actually going to be tabled. While we as a party
Why? What's the stand on it? Why wait till tomorrow? What's going to change overnight?
Obviously, the fact that it has to get tabled first of all, and then the usual process of it going through the standing committee, intensive work takes place there, and then finally when actually the tabling is going to happen subsequent to the standing committee having a look at it, the version can even be very different. Here is a constitutional amendment that we are talking about, and it is not a small thing. All of us will have to apply our mind and take a position. Whilst it is important to recognize that SCs and STs need that positive and affirmative support that we need to give, that which is provided in the Constitution, there is an angle which will also have to be questioned from the point of view of constitutionality in this particular aspect that we are talking about. So there are a lot of things which will have to be discussed, and I don't think we are in a hurry. I'm not even holding that if the government is in a hurry or not, but if they're trying to test the opposition, especially having not answered questions about the coal scandal about which all of us are questioning the government, and if this is being used as a diversionary...
That is so absurd. These are purely a waffle.
No, Renuka Chaudhary, the Samajwadi Party said the same thing. The Samajwadi Party said the same thing, your ally.
Much before I conclude, the Congress should not be in their frustration trying to drown voices which your viewers should hear. Let them hear, and it is for the viewers to take a call on who is shallow, who is not. I think there are chosen words which the Congress can reserve for somebody else. But let me just finish.
Let Nirmala Sitharaman finish. So concerned about people.
No, Ms. Chaudhary, let her finish what she's saying.
We are willing to talk about.
No, Ms. Chaudhary, let her finish what she's saying tonight. No, but let her finish what she's saying. Go ahead, ma'am.
So, in this context, if it is being placed tomorrow, just for testing whether the opposition is going to, because it relates to the SCs and STs, about whom all of us will have to be rightly concerned, I think that's where the haste of the Congress will not service for good this bill, which needs a lot of thinking about.
No.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app, fully optimized for retina display, full screen view, faster response time, and Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.